Dan, you poured over this. You know, early in the spring, everybody really enjoyed your preview for PFL. The regular season's done. Now it's the money fights, $1 million. These 8 will be pared down to 2, and they got a tough task ahead of them because they got to fight twice in one night. So let's go through the pairings here. Francimar Barroso versus Josh Copeland. Who do you see getting out of this one?
You know, there's no odds on these. A lot of times it's usually 24 to 48 hours if you're looking to play it. But let's be honest, the real money, obviously, is at the end of the rainbow. It's a little bit different format. It's going to reflect a little bit different on the matchups. Now, Francimar Barroso, I got to imagine, is going to be slightly favored here over Josh Copeland. Even though he's fought as low as 185 and mainly as a 205er, let's be honest, a lot of these guys are 205ers going up to heavyweight. And Francimar Barroso's experience, a big catch from Nova União, or now working with Ryan Bader up in the United States, I think that's going to pay a lot of dividends. That said, I'm taking Josh Copeland. Barroso is too unpredictable. A lot of times he just stands there. You don't know if you're either going to get a staring contest or he's going to actually come out and do something. Thankfully, the PFL has been bringing out the best in a lot of people, I think, because of this
first
payday.
round is important.
That's right. But at the end of the day, I'm actually going to go with Josh Copeland. I think the volume is going to win out the day. I don't know how good of a condition he'll be coming out of this fight, you know, because I don't think it's going to be easy for either guy. But I do see Josh Copeland getting ahead of that first bracket.
All right. Now we have 4 against 5. Jack May is 4. Alex Nicholson is 5. 2 Americans. Who do you like here?
This is a tough one, man. May is a bit of a wild card himself, though he is the natural heavyweight here. People might know him. He fought Derek Lewis and other names in the UFC. Very tall, one of the most sizable heavyweights off the top of my head off this roster here in front of us. But Jack May took a couple years off, had some injuries, trying to get back on the consistent track. Now, he split a win and a loss in the PFL regular season, but again, no disrespect to who he lost to. We'll see them on this list here. That said, Jack May does have the size and the striking advantage, but Alex Nicholson, his power, again, another guy who's fought as low as 185 in the UFC. He's shown that power translates to 205, and he's also shown that power can even translate up to heavyweight. He's a big dude. He's an athletic dude. 6'4", I believe, off the top of my head, Alex Nicholson stands at. I'm actually going to go with Jack May here. This one is a real wild card, though. I think who wins it may be looking good because we could see a first-round knockout, George. But as far as who's going to win it, boy, that's like flipping a coin. I'm going to go with Jack May, but that's tentative.
Okay. Philippe Lins against Kyle Alansar. Lins is 3. Alankar comes back at number 6. And I think it's Alankar. Sorry about that. We have an American against a Brazilian. You'll note it's all Brazilians and Americans here in the heavyweights for PFL 8. All right, take it away. Who do you like here?
This one's a tough one. I mean, these are 2 sleeper guys as far as they're just quiet names that you haven't heard much of. But I'm going to go with the younger man in Lins. You know, Chow Alankar. Lins wasn't in my original tape study. There has been some shifting in the heavyweight as far as the spring research. He's one of the newer names to me. But Chow Alankar stood out mainly because of his age. 39 years old. Now, you can be older as a heavyweight and still do well. But again, we're having to split hairs on a real tight competitive tournament here, George. So I'm actually going to go with the younger man, Felipe Lins. But I see this one being more of a grinding affair when looking at their style. So I don't know how good a shape they're going to be heading into that second round. I'll take the younger guy, Lins.
All right, Tiller against Rochalt. We got 2, the second-ranked guy in Tiller and 7th-ranked Jared Rochalt, who occupies that last semifinal spot.
You know, on paper, Jared Rochalt is one of the only natural heavyweights. Not only that, on paper, Jared Rochalt has one of the best styles. You talk about it all the time, George. I co-sign. Durability, wrestling, experience. They know the grind. He should be a quiet favorite. Again, I haven't seen standings, but I would imagine Jared Rochalt on paper could be a quiet favorite when you look at it from that perspective. But I hate to abuse the world wild card, especially in a bracket that's going to have that word used a lot, wild card, because it's heavyweights. Anything can happen with these guys' power. But Kevin Tiller is absolutely a wild card. A young athletic guy, the mama's boy, a real interesting nickname there with an interesting story to it. But he came out and made his statement. You know, reminded me of Ray Cooper in the welterweight division as far as, you know, some of these guys are just coming out of nowhere and making statements. That's Kevin Tiller. I think Kevin Tiller, I don't have the odds. Maybe he's not an underdog, but I see it as an upset because I'm picking Kevin Tiller to beat Rochalt.
Okay, so I'm with you. I'm going Copeland.
Okay.
I'm going May.
Okay.
You had May, right?
Yes.
Yeah, May. But I'm going Alankar and Rochalt. So we differ on the bottom bracket. We're okay here. But I want to feature your picks more than mine. I'm worse than the staff picks. You don't really want to pay attention to me. But Copeland now advances against May. Who do you got here to occupy one of the 2 finalist spots?
Boy, if I got to pick that one, I mean, you know, these guys are already fought. It's tough. You're a fan of head-to-head matchups, but I'm gonna go May there if that matchup hypothetically happens, because again, with the May and Nicholson matchup, I see more of a knockout type of affair. Whoever comes out of that one's gonna come out in better shape heading into that fight. Whereas Copeland Bahose, I see this being a grinding affair. So no disrespect to Copeland or Bahose, but I think they're gonna come out a little tougher on that.
All right, and Lins versus Tiller. Who do you like here?
Lins versus Tiller. Again, if you went with the experience, I'm obviously going with youth. If it's 2 youthful guys, I'm going to go with the guy with more explosive finishes on his record. I'm going to go with Kelvin Tiller. I'm sorry.
Kelvin Tiller. All right, and I apologize if I said Kevin as well. All right, I will say, just to finish out mine, I have the winner of Rochelle and Tiller getting to the finals. And by that I mean, I did say Alan Carr versus Rochelle,
okay, but
either way, I think either one of these 2 guys can take either one of those 2 guys. But if I have to pick a name, I got my final as being Rochelle, and I'm going to go for Big Jack May, because I think he's just got that athleticism and the one-punch power, and Copeland is hit or miss. So there you have it, folks. There's our heavyweight breakdown for PFL 8. You got to tune in. You don't know what to expect. We're going old school here. 2 fights in one night, and remember, the big prize is $1 million. Imagine getting out with your hand raised twice, knowing that on December 31st, you'll be fighting for $1 million. That is quite the incentive right there. He's Dan Tom. I'm Gorgeous George. Hopefully you enjoyed the PFL 8 breakdown.